right, what's up? Dante here with White Sox Dave, Barstool Backstage. We are joined by someone I am very, very excited to have in studio. He's arguably Rookie of the Year. Is that something we could call you?
I'll take it.
If not hottest, one of the hottest names in country music right now, Tucker Wetmore. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Thanks for swinging in.
Thank you.
Swinging in.
I was confused why you were in Chicago. You just told us.
Strolling by.
Yeah. And now you're kicking off one of our favorite weeks of the summer here.
Yeah, man.
Windy City Smokeout.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
What's
We're playing
going
at
on?
like a small venue.
Bub City.
You know?
Bub City, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing venue.
Yeah, just kicking off the party.
So I'm sure your team, who is behind camera right now, nobody can see you guys, has been in touch with Ed Warm plenty over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Ed Warm, and we've said this to other country artists that have both been, established for a decade and just starting off like you. If Ed Warm's having you play at one of his properties, he's got an eye for talent, like especially in the country scene, like no other. So that's a big deal for you right now, and you are crushing it right now.
He's like the
And,
king. He's like the kingmaker.
He is the king. That's a good way to put
That's
it.
what they keep telling me, yeah. He's a good guy to know.
He's a good guy to know. And but yeah, you've been crushing it for last, I don't know, 5-6 months.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think I dropped wine and whiskey 6 months ago.
Yeah, in February, so not even 6
Yeah.
months ago, 5-6 months ago. It's crazy. So did you get your degree, by the way? That's kind of where I wanted to start.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not,
now,
dude.
now
Good.
doing the deep dive on kind of your build up. It said your mom convinced you to pursue country music. Now, did mom convince you to drop out of school as well? Or
No,
is
that
it-
was God, man.
That was-
Truly.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the day before, I was like, hey, man, I know it's been a while. I need to sign. And then the next day,
Where were you?
blew up my leg. I was in Montana.
Nice.
Yeah.
You ever been to Butte?
So you're a Washington guy?
Oh, yeah.
Where at?
Like Southwest. It's like 2 hours south of Seattle.
Okay. And then you went to school in Montana?
Oh, yeah. For a whole
NAIA
year.
kid.
And you're a big sports guy, I know.
I love sports. I don't follow sports as much as I should just because I played them so much.
Yeah, but what were your? I mean, you played it like how many sports? 3 or 4 different.
Yeah, it was track, baseball, football were my mains. I played basketball up until like sophomore year.
Yeah, and then
But I kept getting mono.
What
So I was like, I'm out.
What track event?
Pole vault.
No way, you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
pole vaulter.
Yeah, dude, I broke
those are the best athletes on the track field too, by the way.
I don't know about that.
Oh, those guys are freak athletes and girls.
Yeah.
Their core strength and
100%.
flexibility is absurd.
Yeah.
Okay. What about football?
Football, I was a receiver. I went to college to be a receiver. But high school, I
You
played
kind of
both
look
ways.
like Danny Amendola a little bit.
A little bit.
Is he pretty?
He is.
You good looking guy.
I'll take it.
Good looking guy. Not calling you a good looking guy. You just kind of look like him. Baseball. What position?
I was center field. And then I
You're up the
closed
middle.
pitcher.
Yeah, you're an athlete. So I saw that it said that you had stopped playing football at Montana Tech because of career-ending injury. Was that actually the case? That's what it says on Wikipedia, at least. And by the way, having a Wikipedia already is like a big deal in and of itself.
Sick.
But it said it was career-ending injury. I'm like, that doesn't really jive in my head because I thought it was the country music. But what'd you hurt? ACL or something?
Yeah, dude. So I blown out my left knee twice,
Mhm.
and then my right leg was the last one.
Mhm.
It was during spring ball.
Damn.
Ran a post over the middle and just snapped in
Plant.
2 places. Yeah,
Yep.
DB was trailing me, and he went to go bat me down
Mhm.
and just stepped on my heel and just twisted all the way around.
Inner squad or
It was spring ball,
It
yeah.
was spring ball, yeah.
to your own fucking guy did that?
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude.
He was pissed I was cooking him all year, so he had to
That's-
something
Yeah,
else.
so you
Brutal.
go and ruin your dreams of ever playing beyond college, right?
100%. And that was my goal, truly.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, and NAIA, that's good football too. There's a few
Yep.
NAIA schools around here. Because I was wondering, I'm like, Montana Tech, that's not. I know it's not D3. I played D3 ball, baseball. I know it's not D1. So what is it? NAIA, that's good football. It's scholarship
A lot
football.
of people sleep on D3
Yeah.
too.
I
Some
actually,
athletes.
not to brag, went to the D3 champion school,
you
North
go.
Central.
There you go.
They've won it 2 of the last 4 years.
Attaboy.
Oh yeah. And football. I didn't play football,
Sick.
but
No big deal.
but back to music, crushing it.
Thank
What
you.
has been?
I have
go ahead.
something to interject. What is it? We asked. You're like the 10th country guy that we've interviewed who had this illustrious sports career that got derailed by injury,
Mhm.
and then it's like seamlessly transition into music and start crushing in music. What the hell is it with you guys?
I don't know. I mean, being in the industry, it's a lot of work. So I mean, I guess sports teaches you how to work, and then I don't know,
Discipline.
being around a bunch of your dudes all the time, just listening to music, you just fall in love with the music that brings your core group together. So I think that might be it.
I mean,
Were you playing guitar, singing, writing? Were you doing that while you were playing sports, or was it one of those things that you started after your career kind of ended?
I started playing piano when I was 11. I'm all self-taught on everything. I started playing piano when I was 11. I kind of sat down at one.
Well, you
one
taught
day.
yourself piano?
Oh yeah.
At 11 years old?
Uh-huh.
You like the weirdest kid ever?
I mean, I was kind
Dude,
of.
I wish
a little bit.
Yeah.
I wish every day now that my parents had made me learn piano,
Oh,
like
here's
take piano
one worse.
lessons or something when I was a
My
kid.
dad forced me to take piano from 10 years old to 12 years old because he said it would help me with baseball and hand-eye coordination, which obviously it absolutely would. But 10-year-old me was like, I don't want to play the instrument. I'm the athlete. And looking back, it's a regret I have 25 years later, you know?
100%.
So how did you learn? YouTube?
YouTube.
No
Truly.
way.
Yeah, YouTube, and then I would hear I think one of my main guys back in the day was like Jerry Lee Lewis, and I fell in love with like a boogie woogie type, bluesy type style, you know. And
So you play Great Balls of Fire?
every show.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Dude. I pull it out and I do like a whole piano melody where it's like I go up and down the piano and I start shredding and then I just go da-na-na-na, shake my nerves. And
Dude, that's
people lose
awesome.
their minds, dude.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
That's
sure.
awesome.
But back to that, what you said, like you played beyond high school, and so you had all those long bus trips and everything. Where I bet there is a million country songs born on that bus, and sleeping in those, in the alleys, and with your, your backpack or your football equipment or whatever as a pillow.
Yeah.
Those are the best place to make country songs.
100%.
The locker room, it's a breeding ground. It's a petri dish for country music.
100%.
So you go self-taught piano to what? Self-taught guitar?
Yep, pretty much around the same time.
You a Marty Schwartz guy?
I don't know.
He's the
You would know.
YouTube guitar teacher.
He would know.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I know
it's
exactly what you're talking
with
about.
the fedora or
Oh,
whatever he's
100%.
wearing.
Yeah,
He has like
That's-
every
that's
song.
funny.
Yeah.
that just brought back a memory I didn't know I had. But yeah,
We actually interviewed him. Or
Did you
Dave,
really?
Dave interviewed him.
A couple years ago, yeah.
that's sick.
Because he's
Coolest
teaching
guy.
me guitar.
Yeah.
So
Coolest guy. Coolest guy.
Yeah.
So, okay, then where are you at what year was this? What year in school were you when you got hurt?
It was my freshman year, so it was probably 2019
All right.
towards the end. Yeah.
So then what, you just say, like, screw it, I'm going to make this music thing happen? Or where were you at, like, headspace-wise?
Yeah. So I ended up breaking my leg, and then a week later, I went and had surgery back home in Washington, and then I flew back to Montana, packed up all my stuff in like a day and a half, 2 days, with one leg, and then I drove with my left leg 13 hours back home.
how do you even do that?
I don't know.
Just
honestly.
figure it out.
Just stupidity. I
Yeah.
stayed at a motel in
Use
the middle of the night too. Just sketchy.
Dude,
Yeah.
no friends?
No, it was just me.
No girlfriend?
No, not at the time.
You drove yourself. What was how big was this cast in your other leg?
It was all the way up here, up to my like lower knee.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
So I had to like do one of these,
That's
and
crazy.
it was weird for the
So,
first couple of miles, but
That was
Plus your off leg gets so sore so
Yeah.
quick.
100%.
That's a long drive to drive with a left leg.
it's a
I've tried that
haul.
before. Not fun.
That's 5 years ago.
Yep.
We just called you the rookie of the year. You've been on fire the last 6 months. You dropped 4 songs now?
Yep.
4 songs now, and I'm looking at the Spotify numbers right now. They're absurd. Congrats, but like, was there?
Dave pulled it up this morning and was like, "Have you seen this guy's Spotify?" I was like, "Yeah."
It's exploded. Those numbers are absurd for not being old songs, and it's impressive. But like, was there any time over that 5-year period where, because obviously the success is very new. It wasn't right after you got hurt you started finding success. Give me that 5-year gray area. What was that like? Was there any like reservations? Like, man, I shouldn't have done this. Like, go get a corporate job, go wear a tie.
At first, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then I ended up getting a job at a coffee shop, and I was working there for a little bit. And then
Doing what?
Just slinging drinks, dude.
Nice.
I was a good barista.
You're a
Back in the
barista.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, broista.
Broista, that's right.
Yeah.
He's from Washington. It's like in his blood.
I guess.
Yeah,
But
the barista thing's huge out there.
huge. On every single corner.
Yeah.
I see all the bikini barista places everywhere too.
Yeah.
Where
We got one in my hometown, actually.
Do you?
Yeah. Right across the train tracks.
Nice.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Not to get off subject, sorry.
Just slinging coffee. And then I remember sitting my mom down again. I was like, hey, Mom, I'm super lost. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And she was like, why don't you just go sit in front of your piano or pick up your guitar? And she was like, that was your therapy back in the day. I was like, all right. And so I wrote my first song ever that night. This was in 2019. And then I remembered how much I loved music. And, I hadn't played anything in like 2 years because I was just focused on football. And that was it. And I just started writing a bunch by myself. And then I sat her down again probably 4 months later. And I was like, hey, I really want to chase this. And she was like, why don't you just go jump in the deep end? And I was like, I don't know where to go. And she's like, Nashville. And I was like, all right.
See you later.
So literally like a month and a half later, I moved.
That's amazing.
So you owe it all to your mom, pretty much.
Yeah.
100%.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at your 2018 Ore Diggers football picture right here. Wide receiver 180 of Kalama, Washington. Business and info tech major. You've obviously put some work into your country look because this looks like a wide receiver at a good football program. Not a country singer.
Yeah, it don't look like me. I don't know. Time changes people.
Yeah.
What was the move to Nashville like?
Yeah.
As long as a 3-day drive. Me and my mom did that one. And she drove most of the way because I had COVID, so I slept most of the way. And I just, felt like shit. I didn't feel good. And 3 days later, we were in Nashville. And
did you guys sign like a lease for an apartment, or is it just like you're in Nashville, see you later?
Yeah, so we had visited, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks before that to see if I liked it. For the first couple of days, I didn't like it. I'm a small town kid.
Right.
I grew up in the woods, And then just being in like this big city, I'm like, I don't see myself living here. And then she was like, day 3, she was like, what do you want to do? I was like, let's go find a lake, like a place on the lake. And to get dinner or whatnot. And so we did that. And I was like, I could see myself doing this. And that was like the turning point where I was like, this is the move I want to make. And
so when you were down there, were you visiting? I just learned about these writing bars and these writing nights and everything. Were you hitting those?
Not as much.
Really?
I was just, and it was in the middle of COVID. It was 2021.
Oh, so
and they were pretty shut down for a red state too.
100%.
Yeah.
There's some stuff open, and that's how I met people. It was just I would go to like a couple bars that were open, not supposed to be, but they were, and I was 20 at the time, and I had no fake ID. They didn't care because it was the middle of COVID,
right?
And so like, yeah, just come on in. We're not checking IDs. We just need business. And so I met some friends doing that, and then I'd go to like house parties and stuff like that. And I was super fortunate and blessed to meet like a really solid core group of friends at the beginning, probably like month 3. I was like, yeah, let's roll. And they're still my best friends. Some of them are my roommates, my neighbors, or some of them. Nice. I write with, some of them as well, and it's.
And
crazy.
then, so how did you get like discovered? What was your break?
I don't know, man.
Being on Barstool Backstage right here.
Yeah, it's right here. Right
no,
right
but
here.
I mean, so
I still feel like I haven't broke yet.
No, man. I mean, there was I read. I mean, I'm not like, don't get embarrassed, but I read like there was a legit bidding war for you between some of the biggest labels like out there.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, how did you pop to the point? I mean, were you playing spots on Broadway? Were you playing live shows? Like, how did you get on people's radar?
It wasn't Broadway. I knew moving there really early. I was like, Broadway's not the place to play because you kind of get stuck in the Broadway scene.
In the rat race, yeah.
So that was my main focus, was to meet people the first year and a half. And then I really started toning into writing songs again. And then I posted a couple things. And then my main manager, her name's Rakaya, she found me. I want to say on like TikTok or Instagram because I was posting like originals. I had maybe a handful of songs in my name. And she was like, I believe in you. Let's roll. And so she started setting me up with a bunch of rights. And then we picked up Autumn. And then she started helping out with booking me rights, and then we came to a point where it was like, all right, let's start teasing stuff, and that was back in November or October or something like that. And at that point, I'd been writing every single day for 3+ years, just putting in the work. And
you said when you got hurt, you're back in Washington. Your mom's like, pick up the guitar, pick up the piano. Do you have that song? Is that song that you wrote that day, is that something that is going to be released eventually, or is that
100%
just like
not? I don't think I have it, but it wasn't good. It was terrible.
What is your writing process like? Like, are you self-taught with that too, or did you learn from?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of just taught myself. Obviously, you know how a song sounds and how it's supposed to be, and then you got verse. Most of the time, you got verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. You know, that's just like the main structure of a song. But just kind of taught myself and just started writing, and it's a lot of practice. It's like anything else. It's like bring it back to football. You know, when you first started playing football, you probably couldn't really run a route that well, or you know, put your hands up to catch a ball very well, and you know, it's just repetition and practice. And
to me, the songwriting, like artistry, that blows me away more than anything, because getting something that is in your mind down on paper or out, you know, being recorded, it's just crazy to me. It's almost like divine intervention or something like that, how that entire thing happens. And then, like you said, the structure, being able to hear the music, write the words to go along with it, and make it flow and come together. Like the fact that you just like started doing that and evolved, and this is over what, 3 years basically?
4 years.
That's crazy, man.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
Oh, it's a blessing for sure.
So you end up signing with EMI?
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
How's being a big label guy been so far for you? Is that Universal?
It's wild. Yeah, so I'm UMG Nashville.
Okay.
And then my radio side is EMI.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's wild. It's been one of my biggest goals probably since I moved, or even before I moved to Nashville. I was like, I want to get to the point where I'm signing a record deal, and then I'm pushing records out, and then everything's flowing, and you know, I got some stuff on the radio, which is great, and that's another goal of mine. But it's a different pace for sure, because I'm used to like the indie side of everything. We're just me and Autumn and Rakaya, and that's pretty much what it was for the first 3.5 years, and we just make it work. And then we came to the point where it's like, this is too much for 3 of us, and that's when we started shopping some different labels. And because I had been hitting up probably since, I want to say like October, and right around Wine and Whiskey, when that started popping off on TikTok or whatnot, they started hitting me up, and they're like, hey, come meet, you know, blah, 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 and, you know, trying to dip in their finger in the pot a little bit. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And we knew we're not signing anything for a long time, and we didn't plan on signing this early, but it just got too big where it's like, we need help. Yeah. And like a lot of it.
So what, I mean, besides the administrative side of all the help, which, you know, you spoke to how big of a help that is, what about like the production side? And have you been working on like new material? Are you sitting down with, you know, writers, producers? What's that?
Almost every day. Yeah. So I mean, I'm still writing. Obviously, I'm in Chicago right now, about to play a show tonight, and you know, I got the rest of the weekend of shows. But when I'm home, I'm writing, or we got meetings, and then like my producer, he's one of my good buddies, and it's just me and a buddy making music, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I met him through the writing community. I wrote with him for the first time, I want to say like a year ago, or something like that. And
you guys just clicked.
We just clicked, and he's a great dude and even better producer. And I actually wrote Wind Up Missing You with him. And so it's just one of those connections that.
So do you guys have a album in the works? You got a target date? What are things looking like?
Yeah, we got an album in the works. Like, I just cut 5 songs, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And we got a couple rounds of cutting more songs, and then I think I'm like a day away from teasing something that I think is really cool. Which after this I could show it to y'all, but it's it's just we're getting back into like, we've released, and then we've like put one to radio, and that's moving, and we're at the point where it's like, we need more music out, because it's hard to fill a 60-minute set with 4 songs. And all these places are like, tonight I'm playing 60 minutes.
Do you play covers?
Yeah, I play a couple, but most of I think I play like 3, but most of the things is just unreleased stuff. And I have to say that at shows, I'm like, this is a really cool like moment in my career where it might suck because y'all don't know these songs, a lot of them, but you're gonna look back a year from now, or
be like, hey, I heard this.
Less than a year from now when the album's out, and you'll be like, oh shoot, remember at Bub City when we heard that?
I love that.
You know,
man.
what song? Yeah,
I love seeing artists like on
Dude,
the way
I'm
up.
telling you, back in I want to say it was 2014.
He loves this story.
I tell this to all the time.
You got
I'm excited.
So we were at the Windy City Smokeout. Now it's a massive event. It's like a huge part of Chicago summer. Back when it first started, it was in the parking lot of the old Tribune building, which is just it's a flat. It's not there
dirt.
anymore. It's dirt now.
Okay.
And it's under a bridge. There was maybe 8,000. Not a big event, but fun event. It's growing, whatever. And at the time, multiple artists would play at the same time. So there'd be a stage here, stage there, the main stage, blah blah blah. I was walking to get a beer, barbecue, whatever I was getting, and someone caught my ear, and I look, and there's maybe 50 people watching this dude. It was Chris Stapleton.
No shot.
Maybe 50 people watching this, and I'm like, this
That's
guy
crazy.
has the best voice I've ever heard in my life. This guy, and then 2 years later, he was hosting the Grammys with Timberlake and shit.
So you didn't know who it was?
No, I had no idea.
No one
That's
did.
insane.
No one did.
Nobody did.
But
Nobody
him,
did.
him and our friend Ryan, who
Yeah.
hosts another show with Dave, were there, and they were texting us afterwards. They were like, "You got to hear this fucking Chris Stapleton guy. He's unbelievable."
Just this
Yeah.
older dude with a big beard,
As they call it. But again,
Always
that's
wearing the hat.
that's Ed.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Ed Warm, dude. Ed is on these guys day zero, and he just has the ear and the eye for talent. And
That's so sick.
yeah, that's why the Smokeout lineup, there'll be usually one, maybe two big name headliners every day, but everyone else is on the way up and blowing up, and then in a few years they're superstars. So it makes
I hope so.
he
Makes
booked
the
Zach
event even
Bryan
better.
3 years ago for last year's
Yeah.
Smokeout.
Really?
That's how ahead of Zach Bryan he was. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna keep reiterating that he's the guy to know, Ed Warm. He's
When
one,
100%.
I got a question. When you were, on your way, working hard, trying to, not even get established, but, make your way to Nashville, who were artists that you looked up to?
Chris Stapleton's definitely one of them. Yeah, Stapleton, Luke Combs.
Mhm.
Yeah, full circle moment. My first tour was with Cameron Marlowe.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Marlowe was one of my dudes too that I listened to with my buddies, and Muscadine Bloodline's one of them too, and Tyler Childers. And
That's awesome. So what was
Hardy.
that? What was that like getting invited to play with Cameron?
Dude, it was crazy. I mean, I remember sitting there when we got the call where it was like, hey, or it was a text actually. We were all sitting down having breakfast, I think, as a team, and we were actually talking about how the traction wine and the whiskey's getting and
Mhm.
all that stuff, and we're like, we should wait. We're not going to dictate what social media tells us to do. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but it's got a lot of traction right now. And It's just
Yeah.
gaining. And so my team convinced me. They're like, no, let's just wait a little bit, get a couple more songs under the belt, and then we'll start rolling out singles. And then literally probably 10 minutes later, we get the text, hey, Cameron Marlowe wants Tuck to come open up for his Strangers tour coming up. And then we're like, absolutely, I'm there.
Rip up
Let's
that
do
whole
it.
plan.
And then we all looked around and we were like, well, we can't tour without any music. So that's when we started dropping Wine and Whiskey, and then
Mhm.
Wind Up Missing You came after, and a
Has it been overwhelming at all?
little bit.
A little bit.
Sometimes.
And you're
Yeah.
what? You're 23.
24.
24.
Yeah.
So going from Montana Tech to opening up for Cameron, and you're at Bub City. You will be at the Smokeout next year. I'm guaranteeing that
Hope
right
so.
now. That's got to be just a culture shock. Moving to a big major city, you
Yeah.
know.
It took me a while to get used to, for sure. Like I said, I come from a town of 2,500 people,
Mm-hmm.
if that, and over half of them are retired.
Yeah.
It's super small town, just rainforest in the middle of mountains, and moving from there to Nashville. Obviously I've been to big cities. I was near Portland
Mhm.
and Seattle and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but moving to Nashville is damn, it's weird, and it took a second, and for a little bit there I really didn't like it at all, and then I started meeting people. I'm like, oh, this is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
When you aren't on the road, when you're not writing music, what are you doing? What do you do to decompress, relax, kind of detach?
I work
from all
out
that?
a lot. Love
No.
movies.
No big deal.
I'm a
Yeah. Sweet dude. Awesome.
yeah, I try to work out as much as I can, but I love movies. I'll just sit down, just watch a
Any
whole...
TV shows right now?
You ever go to the
I'm not
movies
a
by
huge-
yourself?
No.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. You should
Really?
try it. You should try it.
I've
That's
heard
'cause
that.
you-
Middle of the day. It's awesome. It's like psycho behavior, but it's the most relaxing thing in the world.
I got some buddies that would do that, though.
It's awesome.
What?
You should try it.
It's an older thing. I'm 35 now, and I'm just starting to get to the point where I'm like, I might go to a movie alone tonight.
Yeah.
You'll get there eventually, I promise.
Looking forward to it.
Don't knock it
I'll
till
hit
you
you
try
up.
it. Don't knock it till you try it.
I just did my first movie alone.
What
There
else?
we go.
What else though? Like, you hunt, you fish.
Yep, I fish quite a bit. There's really not really good fishing in Nashville.
No.
I mean, you can go catfishing, which I do. I got a catfish spot like right down the road from my place. Yeah, I play Xbox with my buddies a lot.
What's the game?
Warzone.
There we go. What's your
Call of
KD?
Duty. I don't know.
You can look that up.
I don't know. I'll ask my buddy.
Are you Resurgence or you
Resurgence? Yeah.
Big Map? Nah,
Yep.
see, you're minor leagues.
You're on the Big Map?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's all I play.
the
is
old
Big
Fortnite
Map.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's better and it's more competitive. You just
I agree.
First of all, Call of Duty sucks now, but it's still an addiction.
Yeah.
I'll play it 3-4 times a week or whatever for an hour or two. But that honestly, you want to kill time, Call of Duty. All of a sudden, you'll look up. You're like, I've been sitting here for 3 hours.
That's why I will not buy a video game system because that's what you.
That's what I'm worried about for
That's
the
what used to happen to me
NCAA
all the
game
time.
coming out right now.
Yeah.
Like, you want productivity to just go off a cliff. That's the way to do it. Just get addicted to a video game.
100%.
Speaking of NCAA, I always wonder this about people that are from states that don't have a ton of pro teams.
They got Seattle there. What are you talking
I know,
about?
but that like they don't even have a basketball team anymore. They have a new hockey team.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's true.
Like who were your teams like growing up and now? Non-college.
Just Seattle. I
Mariners
didn't really
fan?
know anything. Yeah, man.
You missed the
Seahawks.
Griffey years, though.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good
Still
again
too.
though.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're pretty good.
I don't follow it as much as I want to. I was a huge Oregon fan, like college football. A huge Oregon fan.
Not Washington?
No.
No.
My family is.
Yeah.
My family's a Cougars fans, actually.
Wazoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're Western Washington, you said, right? Or Southern Washington?
Western. Like Southwest.
Or Southwest.
Yeah.
And Wazoo, is that on the east?
That's on the east side, yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. All right. Yeah, so what's next for you? Obviously you said you got an album coming out. Working on that, gonna start teasing that.
When are you hoping for that to, not to tie it to anything, but this year, next year?
I mean,
We only got 4 months left, 5 months left.
hopefully,
This year.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of impossible to do it this year, but I'm hoping like top of next year
Nice.
is what we're shooting for right now.
You
I'm
got
not gonna give you a date.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to give us a name either. But do you have a name in mind?
I've got a couple. I'm trying to narrow it down, but we're definitely getting that theme of the whole album collected right now, which is super cool. And I don't know, it's an idea that I've had for a while, and I'm excited. There's some bangers on there too. Like I was listening to a couple that we just cut, I think yesterday, and I was like, damn, these are cool.
When you write a song like that, do you put the pen down and do you immediately know, like, man, that's a smash? Like that, just listening to that song, like you can just tell that was destined to blow up.
I mean, yeah, in a sense, for that one, I was kind of skeptical about it at first. And then I got the demo back. I was like, oh, shoot, this is really cool. But in the room, we were like, hey, this is really special. But I didn't know it was for me. And I got the demo back. I was like, this is my song, 100%.
That is an awesome song.
Do you ever write one where you're like, well, I'm sure actually now that I think about it and asking this question, I'm sure there's a lot of songs where you're just like, get rid of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
100%.
crumple up the paper and
Most of the
Yeah.
time, that's how it is.
probably
It's like,
probably most of the time now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna write 1,000 bad songs before you write.
right.
The Wind Up Missing You.
Mhm.
Or the Wind Up Whiskey.
What do you have any that have really hit you like that from what you're working on now?
Yeah.
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 So
I'll show
you're
you
gonna-
some
You're
after
gonna like, I've listened to your music now. You're gonna be a superstar, man, and
Thank you,
it's
bro.
really cool sitting down talking with you. Like I'm looking forward to like a year, 2 years, whatever down the road. Be like, I interviewed that guy like 3 years ago. He has no idea who I am anymore, but
I'll remember you.
you'll remember. Good. That's all I ask.
You
for.
remember
Just-
me.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Do you get nervous playing in front of big crowds?
Not really. I mean, I get more
you at
nervous
first?
around the small crowds. if I'm being
Really?
honest. Yeah.
How come?
I mean, big crowd. I could work the stage. I could feed off these guys.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, all right, let's just act like a bunch of idiots for 45 minutes, you know. But
Mhm.
the smaller intimate crowds, like tonight, Bub City is like super intimate. I think it's like 250 cap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we just played in front of 10,000 in Canada last weekend, so it's gonna be like a huge change. But
Tucker goes hard on stage too.
I try to. I try to, yeah. But I don't know. It's gonna be different. But It's more intimate. So it's like,
For sure.
oh shit, if I mess up, everybody's gonna know.
They know it. Yeah. We went to Keith Urban. So Ed, I've dropped his name 1,000 times. He owns a bar on another bar on the far north side called Carol's.
Legendary bar.
Legendary bar. He had Keith Urban there, same size, like 200 people, and I was lucky enough to get the invite. He wasn't. And he messed up one of his own songs on stage, and he like literally melted on stage. And he made a joke of it, and we all laughed, and he made it a part of the show. But like, it was he probably hasn't played in front of 200 people like that in 12 years
It's
or whatever.
weird. It's different.
Yeah.
The smaller crowds are what get you. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Do your family make it to your shows?
As much as they can. They're all working, so
What do they think about this whole thing?
they're fired up.
Are they
They're
like,
always texting me.
Yeah,
calling me
yeah.
Like, hey, any new news? My mom calls me almost every day, and she's like, "Hey, you got any new news?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't know." Honestly.
Same as yesterday, Mom.
I'm just working.
It's a mom thing to do, though.
Yeah.
how do you, for her to, I already said you owe this all to your mom.
100%.
What's her name, by the way?
See ya.
Sia.
SIA.
Shout out Sia.
See you later.
Sia Wetmore?
I see a Gould.
Sia Gould.
So have you, if you haven't, I'm hoping a song is in the works for her. I think it's the only way you
I'm
can
working
repay
on
her.
one for sure. I am. It's actually called it's called Okay Mama, but I don't know. It needs a lot of work, but it's gonna be cool.
What about everyone else like that you grew up with, your friends and all them? Are
Ecstatic.
do
They're
they
always hitting me up too.
Yeah.
do they
What's
try
up,
to
man?
do they try to bring you back down to earth at all? Like are they like real ball busting friends, like
A
real
little
friends?
bit, but like everyone's just so fired up about
Mhm.
what's happening right now, and I mean me too. But they help me appreciate it, if that makes sense. Because I'm so go, and my focus is just the next task. Like I'll do something and then I'm like here, and it's just me, I guess. But I'll talk to them and be like, dude, did you really do this? I'm like, did I open up for Raleigh Green in Canada for 10,000 people last week? Shoot, I forgot about that, but yeah, I did. And it's just stuff like that where it's just like I'm so all right. What's the next thing? Where it's like I talk to them and they're like, no, you're what you're doing is really cool. Sit down and pat yourself on the back and appreciate it, which I struggle with personally. It's just like
It's like the idle
Hey,
hand
Tuck.
syndrome, kind
yeah,
of.
hey Tuck, you're doing
Yeah.
good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm sure someone who's as laser focused as you are, it's hard for people to do that. Be like, hey, like I'm doing good right now. It's like I'm not doing enough. It's probably a
100%.
thought you have a lot.
100%.
But you are crushing it. The success you've seen over the last handful of months is absurd, and
Thank you, brother.
and I'm looking forward to seeing the continued success. It's going to be really cool to watch unfold over the next few years, especially with, I don't want to say resurgence, but country music. That's the music right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's it's country music's on top,
100%.
and you're going to be right there. Is there anybody you want to play with?
Yeah, who's like a dream collaboration for you?
I'll even leave Alive or Dead. Leave it like that.
Alive or dead?
Yeah, like
oh gosh. I mean, Toby Keith would be sick, but rest in peace.
All right,
mhm.
But I don't know. It depends on the song. Truly, I'm a song first kind of person. I don't know. I do want to do like a female collab, like with Meg Maroney or.
She's
we're
so-
friends.
yeah,
we're
Yeah.
friends of the program. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been on a few times.
She's incredible, man.
She is.
phenomenal. I've
Yeah.
known her for a couple years.
Her-
I haven't seen her in a long time, but
one of the best songwriters out there.
she's phenomenal.
She's awesome.
I think that'd be sick. Or like what's her name?
Any crossover, like
Put it
so,
out there, man. Speak it into existence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Get it into the ethos now.
I don't know. Metallica.
That's what I was gonna say.
That'd be crazy.
So last summer, and this is something I've discovered now that we have the show too. A lot of artists I just assume a country artist they like country music, and it's obviously not the case. We had Corey Taylor on a year it was last June, so about a year ago, the lead singer of Slipknot, and he was talking about us. He's like, yeah, I'll drive my daughter to school and we'll just be bumping to Meghan Trainor. And
sick,
yeah,
bro.
it's awesome. This is a lead singer of Slipknot and he's listening to Meghan Trainor. So is there anybody like that? Like, even if it's like kind of a joke social media collab, like, would you want to get in with like, I don't know, Drake or anyone? Obviously Drake's Drake, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be cool.
We listen to 50 Cent a lot.
50
Or 50,
Cent would
yeah.
be sick.
He's playing at
J.
my
Cole.
He's playing at my club next week, and I'm meeting him.
Oh, really?
50 Cent. It's like bucket list for me. I'm so pumped.
That's so sick. Good for you.
He's a man. I'm surprised you're young
Yeah.
to be up.
We'll
on
bump him on the bus. That's like how we hype each other up. We'll throw some 50 on or J. Cole, like old J. Cole, like the Wet Dreams album. Slaps.
Bottle full of bug.
What's your go-to drink?
Jack and sugar-free Sprite.
Yeah, he's a health nut. Remember?
Sprite?
Yeah.
I don't think I've
You've never
ever.
had a Jack and Sprite?
Whiskey and Sprite. That's a thing.
I've never seen that
It's
before.
a 7 and 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
What the hell's wrong with you?
No, but that's 7-Up.
It's a citrus
It's
pop.
like saying
All right.
Coke and Pepsi. You know?
All right.
It's like,
What about what do you miss the most from back home? Like growing up, meal, restaurant, home cooking. What's your favorite thing when you get home? Like you're going to?
my friends, truly. We just had such a tight group of friends when I was back home. It's hard not being around them.
Yeah.
Because they're getting new relationships, and some of them are getting married and having kids. I'm like,
It gets
dang,
way worse.
I'm missing that, and
Mm-hmm.
my family is doing the same thing, and I've had 4 nieces and nephews born in the last 2 years.
Congrats.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
I'm not going to say congrats because I have also been in the same boat. I've had a bunch of nieces and nephews over, and people congrats me like I had anything to do with it. I'm like, dude,
I didn't do
it's
shit,
my
dude.
sister. She had a kid. Like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you're congratulating
Yeah.
me. So I won't congratulate you, but that's cool. I'll say
cool.
that. It's cool.
100%. But yeah.
All right. Well, we took up a ton of your time, but
That's
this
totally
was an
fine.
awesome interview. I love being a fan of somebody based on their music and then meeting them.
And they're awesome, yeah.
And they're even
Thank you,
fucking
man.
cooler in
Mhm.
person. And now I'm even a bigger fan of yours. Rooting for you, man. I don't see anything but success in your future. And we're really, really glad that you stopped by.
100%.
You're
Me
such
too,
a
man.
busy guy. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
guys. This has
taking
been
the
awesome.
time.